The grass sways under a restless wind. A small band of Australopithecus moves cautiously through the tall savanna, their bare feet pressing into warm dust, their eyes darting between the scattered acacia trees. The women carry bundles of roots wrapped in leaves. The men clutch sharp flakes of stone. Above them, the sky burns in golden light, but the ground trembles with unease. For in this land, humans are not the hunters, they are the hunted. Massive shadows move silently at the edge of sight, towering flightless birds, faster than any man, their talons curved like knives, their beaks heavy enough to split bone. The question is not how to kill them, but how to survive their wrath. What if humans lived their entire lives knowing that a single mistake, a single misstep could mean being crushed beneath the charge of a bird taller than themselves? This is the story of survival. 7.5 million years ago, where humans stood small against giants of the earth, the band presses forward toward a shallow riverbed. The women kneel to fill folded leaves with water, careful not to spill a drop, while the men scan the horizon. Insects buzz, and the cries of distant baboons echo, but the savanna feels too still. One young male kneels by the mud, shaping a jagged flake from a stone. He cuts his finger, the red line sharp against his brown skin, but he ignores the pain. He raises his head sharply. The silence has broken. A low thudding tremor begins to ripple through the ground. The flock is coming. The hunters scatter. A female clutches her infant close, sprinting for the cover of the trees. Others wave their arms, hoping to confuse the predator. Then it bursts into view, a giant bird nearly 3 meters tall, feathers bristling its legs, pumping like pistons. Its round eyes lock on the stragglers. The ground shakes beneath its steps. One male throws a rock, striking its side, but the beast only shrieks louder, lowering its head and charging. The people split apart like water, knowing they cannot outrun it. A clever one dashes toward the river, luring the bird into softer ground. Its massive legs sink slightly in the mud, slowing it just enough. 2 others circle behind, raising crude clubs of wood, hardened by fire. They strike at its flank, not to kill, but to drive it off. The bird whirls, snapping its beak, and one man barely tumbles aside before it could crack his skull. The air is filled with shouts, with pounding wings, with the crack of wood against bone. At last, the giant predator, frustrated and confused, retreats into the tall grass, vanishing as suddenly as it came. The group gathers, panting, shaken. They have survived for now, but one child is missing. Panic spreads as the mother screams in silence, scanning the grasses. The bird is not gone. It is circling, stalking. The men rush forward, stones in hand, while the women form a protective wall around the children. The hunt is not over. The sun dips lower. Shadows lengthen. The flock of birds begins to converge, drawn by the noise, by the smell of sweat and blood. The people huddle, realizing they are trapped between river and predator with no cave, no fire, no place to hide. The leader, a scarred elder male, lifts a heavy branch. His eyes burn with ancient defiance. They cannot flee. They must fight together as one, or be swallowed by the savanna. And so begins the clash of prey and predator, of fragile human bodies against towering giants of the earth. The elder raises his branch high, and the others follow, clutching stones, clubs, and sharpened bones. They form a rough circle, the children at the center, the women crouched low, with leaves of water still clutched to their chests. The giant bird steps forward, its talons curling into the dirt, its eyes unblinking, black as obsidian. The flock cries from the distance, a chorus of shrieks, that shiver through the air, each call answered by the steady thrum of beating wings. The savanna is no longer silent. It has become a battlefield. The humans know their strength lies not in speed nor in power, but in cunning. One young male smears his bleeding finger across his stone tool, raising it like a blade. Another crouches, scooping handfuls of dust to blind the enemy. The women, though burdened with children, take up branches too, pounding them on the ground in rhythm, creating a wall of sound. The birds hesitate, circling their heads, darting from side to side. They are used to prey, scattering, not standing together. For a brief moment, the predators falter. Then chaos breaks. The largest bird lunges, wings flaring wide. Its shadow swallows the group. The elder strikes with all his might, slamming his branch against its neck. The blow is not enough to kill, but it jolts the beast, staggering it sideways. Another hurls a rock that cracks against its beak with a dull thud. The bird screeches, enraged, its talons raking across the ground so close they slice through a man's leg. He stumbles, cries in silence, but the others drag him back before the predator can crush him. Blood darkens the dust and fear spreads like wildfire. The group falls back toward the river, the flock closing in. The mud sucks at their ankles, slowing their retreat. One of the birds seizes the moment, its long neck darting down to snatch at a child. A mother throws herself forward, clawing at its feathers, her body trembling with desperation. She slams a stone into its eye again and again until the bird jerks back in pain. The child is saved, but the mother's arm hangs limp, broken by the bird's strike. The group rallies around her, their fear turning to fury. The sky darkens as storm clouds gather. Lightning flashes on the horizon, and thunder rolls across the plains. Rain begins to fall in heavy drops, drumming against skin, against feathers, against stone. The river swells quickly, the current strengthening. The predators hesitate, their claws slipping in the mud, their eyes wide at the sudden change. The humans seize the moment. With a unified cry, wordless, primal, they drive forward as one. Dust becomes mud clubs, swing rocks fly. The birds retreat step by step, thrown off by the storm, their dominance challenged. Finally, with a clap of thunder so loud it shakes the earth, the flock scatters into the grass, their massive forms vanishing into sheets of rain. The humans collapse together in the mud, gasping, shivering alive. The elder drops his branch, raising his face to the rain. They have endured both beast and storm, their unity stronger than fear. But the night is not yet safe. They must find shelter, tend their wounded, and keep fire alive. Or tomorrow the savanna will test them once again. The storm rages through the night, lightning carving the sky into shards of white and black. The band of Australopithecus huddles beneath a cluster of low trees, their bodies pressed close for warmth. The injured are tended with crushed herbs bound by strips of bark, their wounds cleaned with rainwater. One woman chews bitter leaves and presses the paste into the gash on the hunter's leg, her hands steady, though her face is weary. Beside her, the mother with the broken arm cradles her child, both safe, though trembling. As dawn breaks, the savanna is transformed. Pools of water shimmer where dust once lay, and the air is heavy with the smell of wet earth. Tracks of the giant birds crisscross the mud nearby, but the flock has moved on, driven by the storm. The humans rise slowly, their limbs sore, their spirits heavy, yet unbroken. Hunger gnaws at them, but so does the memory of their narrow escape. Survival is not victory, it is a reprieve, a chance to draw breath before the next trial. The elder leads them toward a shallow cave at the base of a rocky ridge. Smoke still lingers there from a fire sparked by lightning, the earth charred and black. With swift hands, they gather the embers, nursing them into flame with dry grasses. Fire becomes their shield, their warmth, their light against the dark. Around it, the tribe shares what little they have scavenged, roots, grubs, and roasted insects, passing food hand to hand until even the smallest child eats. In the glow of the fire, laughter rises, brief, fragile, but real. The child who was nearly taken plays with a stone tool, clumsily mimicking the elder's strikes. The injured hunter leans back, the pain dulled by herbs, his eyes closed in exhausted relief. The storm has cleansed more than the earth. It has bound them closer, reminding them that alone they are nothing, but together they endure. As night falls once more, the flames flicker on their faces, carving them into shapes both human and mythic. Against giants of the earth, against storm and hunger, they remain. And in that fragile endurance, the legend of survival takes root.